That we have filmmakers from both of our films this evening. So I want to welcome to the stage Vern Switzer and Matt Morris. And Andrew James from Cleanflix. So I think, why don't we have the first couple of questions be for Watermelon Man, and then we'll move to Cleanflix and see what questions we have for the co-director.
No, I have to
Yes.
ask. Are you a Mormon yourself?
Are you a Mormon yourself?
No. I grew up Mormon, and I left the church about 4 years ago. And that's how I stumbled across this topic. Went out to BYU to go to school in Provo, where I just slowly and surely drifted away and started questioning, thinking differently about things. And Cleanflix and the issues of sanitized films it's a huge issue in Utah. Everybody's talking about it because they feel guilty watching R-rated films, but they really, really, really want to watch The Matrix, you know. So it's everywhere. You know, one of my favorite films is Traffic, and I had this experience when I was in school there. So I've always watched R-rated films, never had a problem with it, even when I was a member of the church. And I was trying to get some friends to come over and watch Traffic, and they were like, well, let's go get the Cleanflix version. And that was my first sort of introduction to Cleanflix, and I was kind of like taken aback and kind of appalled at the editing job because I love the film so much, and they kind of just butchered it, and that was sort of my initial sort of experience with it. A friend of mine one day said, "Hey, we should do a doc about Cleanflix," and I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea. Make it like a really good like short film or something, you know." And so he hooked me up with my co-director Josh, who we never met, and he can't be here tonight, unfortunately. But he'll be here for the next screening. And so, yeah, we met for the first time on the first day of shooting, and yeah, it ended up being a 3-year process.
It's amazing.
Back there, yes.
Two quick questions. One is, these directors who showed up on the film that talk about the artistic control, do they have clauses in their contract that let them control how film is edited for television or airplanes or colorization issues? And my second question is, how does the Mormon Church deal with the question of, since it's a sin or whatever it is to look at these images, who's editing the films and how are they doing it without looking at the images?
Right.
Did everybody hear that question?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll take both questions one at a time. First question is, yeah, I think the directors are contractually obligated to, well, not even the directors, the studios. I mean, the directors don't own their films, right? So, but I think it's in their contract when the film gets bankrolled by Universal or something that they're going to provide a clean version for airlines and for television, and the directors really don't have much say in that. But if you can imagine being a director, right? I mean, I'm sure many of you have seen this film is not yet rated, which is kind of big, like a film festival did a few years ago. But there's a lot of censorship going on, even at the studio level through the MPAA and whatnot. So by the time it gets to Cleanflix, the directors have had it. And they don't really have control over their own films, so you can imagine their frustration because they're being forced to edit the film to get the R rating, and then they're being forced to edit their films for airline and for television. And so by the time it gets to Cleanflix, they're like, you know, fuck, I'm sick of this, you know, like, and so they make the point, like, oh, like, if we're going to do a clean version for airline or television, like, I have a say in that, and that's up for debate. I don't think they really do. I think it's just some, like, intern at, like, you know, Fox that, like, cuts their film to show on TV or something, but they say that they do have a say in it, and maybe they do, but I don't think that they do. And the second question, about the Mormon Church, it's not really a sin. It's like general counsel, like don't watch R-rated films. The prophet that we showed in the film is like the most conservative, like extreme prophet, like in the history of the Mormon Church. I mean, since that time, the church has taken like a more lax stance on the R rating, and they kind of just say don't watch things that are bad, and that being PG-13 as well. And so it's kind of up to each individual member of the church to kind of make up their own mind.
Yes, down here.
When was the first day of shooting compared to the final events that happened today?
We started filming in fall of 2006, and Daniel went to jail in July or August of 2008. So we shot for 2 years, and then did post for a year after that.
Yes, over there.
Were the characters that are in the film able to screen the film? And if so, what were the thoughts and what was the general response to the film?
Okay, sorry.
Also, will there be a Cleanflix version of
We get that question at every festival. Yeah, we are actually going to do a clean version. It's showed in Utah. Because we want the populace there to see the film. I think it'll generate some interesting discussion and hopefully,
Definitely. Wow.
opens people's minds a little bit. And then also in terms of the subjects of the film, Daniel's not seen the film yet. We've given him the opportunity, and he just doesn't want to see it. He's read all the reviews, read all the internet stuff, and I think he just wants to avoid it. Trying to get past that. Ray and Al have not seen the film. We've kind of not been in touch with them. I don't think they're really interested in seeing it. But Robert, the heavyset man on the motorcycle, who's sort of the counteracts Daniel in the film, he came to Toronto with us to the premiere.
Oh, he did.
And is a big fan of the film, actually, and was really happy with the final product.
Good. That's great.
Over here.